9 times out of 10, my clients are not professional models. And taking pictures can seem intimidating without that background. Typically, people are nervous when they get in front of a camera. They feel awkward, they feel uncomfortable because they don't know how to be good models. But that's all subjective. Anybody can be a good model. This is why I instruct my clients to be as natural as possible. This is essentially how I take portraits. Hey everyone, I go by V Lauren on social media, but you can call me Victoria, and welcome to episode 2 of Still Good, Subtlety. For this shoot though, I was photographing my friend who I've been taking pictures of probably, I don't know, close to, not 10 years, it's less than 10 years. Let's do some math. 8, 9, probably as long as I've been doing photography, I've been photographing my friend Ashley. So the thing is that she's comfortable on camera. She has a YouTube channel. And this shoot is very comfortable and relaxed because we've been working together for years, had a friendship for even longer than that, going back to elementary school. So the thing is, there's a sense of ease when we do photographs. But obviously sometimes, when it's been a while, a little bit rusty and we're in a new environment taking photos, sometimes you gotta ease into it. But one thing that I realized, especially even these shoots that are more comfortable than maybe say other ones, is the fact that subtlety is the key. Subtlety in portraits refers to capturing a subject's essence and personality through refined and understated techniques, rather than relying on exaggerated or overly dramatic effects. I think that when you're doing portraiture, some of those best shots are those in-between moments, where it's the client is not focused on the fact that they're involved in portraits. You're probably engaging them in a conversation. So for a slight second, their mind shifts from what they're talking about rather than I'm actually sitting in front of a camera being photographed. And I think those happen to be some of the best shots because that's when the person was most relaxed and comfortable. So I always aim to try to go for those type of photos. So I like to do something called posed candid photography. It's not a real thing or whatever, which is essentially capturing images where the subjects are not intentionally posing, but are subtly prompted or guided to act naturally, creating a blend of spontaneity and direction. This approach allows for capturing genuine emotions and interactions while still ensuring the photographer has some control over the composition and overall look of the photo. So when you think about natural interactions, I'm talking about the focus is on capturing real moments and interactions between subjects rather than forced posing. And then by subtle guidance, I mean I, the photographer, might provide prompts or suggestions to engage the subjects to act naturally or interacting with their surroundings. I encourage subtle gestures and expressions that reveal a person's true personality and their inner world. So when it comes to subtlety, I'm talking about small, nuanced movements, kind of like a dancer. These small, subtle movements of the body can actually be very powerful. If you've ever seen dancers perform, it's not the big moves, but then if you're really focusing in on how intentional they are with the little things, the subtle details.
You put your finger against a wall and you break my heart. That's dance.
And I think that is super important when it comes to portraiture. It could just be a simple head tilt that can actually change the whole feel and vibe of a photo. So I often encourage my clients who don't have that professional background to make subtle movements. It's all about using subtle changes in head tilt, eye direction, hand placement, or body positioning to convey emotion or create a more dynamic look. So head tilts. A slight tilt of the head can create a more relaxed or confident expression, depending on the angle. Weight shift. A simple shift in weight can change the stance and create a more dynamic or confident look. Hand placement. Playing with hand placement, such as touching the face, the waist, the hair, can add a touch of elegance or naturalness, depending on what you're going for. Angles. Over the shoulder. Turning the body slightly from the camera. Over the shoulder. Can create a more dramatic or engaging pose. Chin positioning. Lowering the chin for a fierce look or raising it for confidence are subtle ways to convey emotion. Eye direction. Changing the gaze even slightly can tell a whole new story and add depth to the pose. So you can change how much people are engaged with the image depending on where the subject looks. You see it. By mastering these subtle techniques, people can elevate their posing who have no experience or background in modeling. And it can either create more dramatic or natural looking photos. Now my style is more documentary lifestyle, so I'm always gonna err towards the side of natural. I really wanna capture their true essence, their aura, like their inner world. So that's my goal when it comes to using subtlety. The best way to accomplish subtlety is by starting with one pose and then having the model make natural movements like lifting or lowering their chin, looking towards the right, and then looking back at you, etc. Then suggest other poses. Watch what they are doing with their hands and suggest some different placements. Continue having a conversation between poses. And what I often like to encourage my clients, especially those who don't have a background in modeling, is that if you feel it, go for it. Because the more comfortable they are, the more confidence that they exude on screen. So I would say simplify your approach. Don't overcomplicate it. Subtlety in portraits is about finding the quiet beauty and power in understated techniques and expression. It's about capturing a subject's essence through refined details and thoughtful composition, rather than relying on overly dramatic or exaggerated effects. But the main thing, the number one thing, is for you and your client or model to relax and enjoy yourselves and have fun. But for you as a photographer, just remember, still photos are still good.